To tell you guys. 3. Yo! What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Libraviews. I'm Charlene. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video. So, bitch, I'm here to talk about the season finale of Miss Joseline Hernandez Cabaret Atlanta, okay? This episode was motherfucking everything. They made us wait 2 fucking weeks, and I was a little pissed off about that, but you know what? It was a little worth it. It was a little worth it. So the episode opens up, and, you know, they recapped everything from the season and showed Chanel getting doggy bits thrown at her, Natural and Yummy going at it, Boss Tech and Big Lex going at it, Barbie in the house. I mean, they ran through everything. But the episode opens up, and Natural and Yummy are standing in front of Joseline and Ballistic, because she's now choosing her girls, the official 4 girls that are going to be in her cabaret. So Natural and Yummy are standing next to each other, and you know, they flip to Yummy's confessional, and Yummy just basically says she felt like Natural was plotting on her the entire time. You know what I'm saying? She felt like Miss Natural was trying to throw her off her game, which I don't think that was the case, because Miss Natural, her whole anger stemmed from something that you said to her. So if what you said would have never had happened, y'all would have never had gotten to that argument. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So I don't think that she necessarily was plotting against you. I just think Miss Natural just has, you know, maybe a small little anger problem, and she just was overly fucking pissed off. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, Joseline tells Yummy to step up, and she basically says that Yummy worked hard. She started off really good, but towards the end she kind of fell off, and that it was official. She was going to choose Miss Natural over her. Now, soon as Joseline says this, Miss Natural bends down and covers her head. Her head is pretty much buried in between her legs, and she's crying. I assume because she won. She's like, oh my goodness, I actually made it. So she was crying about that. Yummy looked to the side. She took her goddamn shoe off and just started bop, 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 bop. And I was like, damn, Yummy, like, listen, Yummy was plotting the whole motherfucking time to do that. I feel like Yummy, in her mind, she felt like when Miss Natural was wilding her out a couple of episodes ago, she said, you know what, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to take this, but if I don't win, I'm a rag tag that ass. She really was just trying to see if she could make it to the end. And when she figured out that her ass was not going to be the final 4, she wagged on her. Now, do I think that she should have snuck Miss Natural? No, I don't think that she should have snuck Miss Natural. However, I do think, Miss Natural, you should have been a little bit more on point. Mind you, a couple of nights ago, from what I understand, y'all was only in the house for 3 weeks to a month. You were just arguing with this bitch in her face, doing all this, just because y'all had a little yin-yang around the house and y'all, you know, you feel me, got a little cool or whatever, I still would have my guard up around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all did really go at it heavy. You know what I'm saying? Her and Joseline got into it. You and Joseline got into it. You and Yummy got into it. I mean, it was a lot. So you should have been on motherfucking guard. I would have never have bent down and berated my head into my pants with a girl around me who I just was beefing with. Now, I don't know if they had kind of made up. I don't know if they had kind of, you know, became a little, you know, just, you know, casual around the house after the argument, but still, Natural, you should have been on your motherfucking P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? Now, Yummy, you shouldn't have snuck Miss Natural. But hey, listen, when you beefing with a hoe, you always gotta be vigilant. You know what I'm saying? Because bitches is always plotting, and I feel like Yummy didn't want to fight because she didn't want to get kicked out of the house like Aqua did. She, you know, Barbie had left. And I think Yummy was really trying to keep her cool. But she just felt disrespected ultimately. But nonetheless, they get the brawling. So Yummy is wagging. And some people I saw online was like, yeah, you know, Yummy did drag her, like this, that, and the third. Yummy did not drag Miss Natural. Let's just be very clear. She hit her maybe 2 times with the shoe. The shoe flew out of her hand, and she was pulling Miss Natural's hair as Ballistic was trying to break them up. I don't think that Miss Natural was kind of like can't fight or whatever. What I think is she was trying to get, if you really watch it, she was holding on to that hair. You know what I'm saying? And I think she was trying to get Yummy's hand off of her hair. She wasn't really focused on two-piecing her because she was trying to get this girl off of her fucking hair. Because when you pull a dread out, it just, you know, a braid or anything, you know, it's a whole bald spot. You know, it's one thing if it's like your hair is kind of loose and you get it'll be kind of like patchy, I guess, almost. But when you pull a braid or a dread out, that is like a whole circle that's going to be in the middle of your head. So I think Miss Natural whole thing was kind of like, let me hold and get her off of my dread. So it wasn't so much Yummy really dragged her, even though it looked that way. But, you know, that shit was crazy nonetheless. So Ballistic breaks it up. And soon as Ballistic breaks it up and drags Yummy out, Miss Natural starts crying. Now, that kind of threw me off a little bit because Miss Natural definitely comes off as she's like a little bit more tough. Like, girl, you was really just wilding Yummy all in this girl face, and all she did was attack you. Yummy, I mean, Natural ain't had no black eyes, ain't had no cuts, her hair was still good, her makeup was still in place. Yeah, her foot was fucked up. But I'm like, girl, like, you really just wowed this bitch a couple days ago, and then she got you back later, and now you're bawling, crying like a little baby. I didn't understand that, but I guess she was emotional about the situation or whatever. So, as Yummy is getting escorted out the goddamn building, Yummy attacks Chanel. I said, Yummy is on her Joseline shit today. Remember when Joseline, season 3 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, when Joseline pretty much fought everybody at the reunion? I said, yeah. I said, Yummy is on her Joseline shit. And one thing about that Yummy, you can call Yummy a troll, you can call Yummy crusty, you can call Yummy a hyena, you can call Yummy whatever the fuck you want to call her. One thing, I always said it throughout my videos, Yummy always stands out in the episodes. Somehow or another, Yummy stands out. You might not see Boss Tech, you know what I mean? Big Lex, she chilling, you know what I'm saying? Lexi Blow always was kind of cool and mediocre personality-wise. You know, but one thing about that Yummy, she always stood out for something. Whether she was pew with the spirits, whether she was on the pole dancing while Barbie and Lucky was beating each other's ass, whatever. Yummy always tends to stand out, and that's one thing I will give that bitch. But she attacked Chanel. Now, after the fight was done, Chanel lip was all bloody and busted and fucked up. And, you know, I said, damn, Chanel, you know. Now, again, you know, Yummy did not two-piece Chanel. Yummy clawed the hell out of Chanel. You know what I'm saying? I recently got into some trouble and I just yoked up a motherfucker, and because my nails scratched, it drew blood. I didn't two-piece them or, you know, pull no goddamn, you know, body parts off and no shit like that. But when you have nails, it can leave damage. And one thing about it, and two things for sure, nobody gives a fuck about how the actual fight goes down. If you're walking around and you have bruises and the other person don't, it doesn't matter if it didn't look like they got the upper hand. It didn't matter if, oh, all they did was scratch me. Oh, all they did was this. If you were walking around with bruises or some type of, you know, some type of, you know what I'm saying, bruises from the fight, you know, it don't matter how it looked. The person already won. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Yummy didn't two-piece her and really box her out like Mike Tyson. But Chanel did really walk away with a busted, bloody lip. So, it really did seem like Yummy got the best of her. Even though if you really break down the fight, Yummy wasn't really doing too much but a whole bunch of clawing and scratching and pulling hair. But when you got bruises on you, it's going to look like the other person fucked you up. Period. So Joseline and Ballistic are talking after Yummy done attacked Natural and Yummy. And Ballistic basically said that he told Joseline a couple days prior that he had seen the switch in Yummy. And that's what I mean. I feel like Yummy was on some shit like, yo, Joseline fucking wild me out. Miss Natural fucking got in my face. And then remember on the episode, a couple episodes ago, she went down and talked to Big Lex and Lexi Blow. And Big Lex was like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. Like, bitch, you tried Joseline. Like, it was kind of like the whole house kind of turned on her. So she was like in like this thing where it's like, okay, she probably was in her room like, just shaking and shit like, okay, I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm just gonna do the cabaret. I'm gonna do the dance. But if I don't fucking win, I'm I'm gonna fucking kill these bitches. Like, she probably was in her room doing that, and Ballistic fucking peeped it, right? So Yummy goes outside, and Natural is crying again because, you know, she looked at her toe and her toenail had came out, and Joseline basically came over and told her ass to suck it up. You know, and I don't blame Joseline. One thing about Joseline is going to be, she's going to turn it up with the girls, and she's definitely going to make a show. You feel me? And she said, bitch, don't nobody give a fuck about that bloody ass. So I chose your ass to be in the Cabaret, your top 4. Clean that goddamn toe up and clean that blood off the floor and get your ass ready for this performance. So Yummy was outside wilding, okay? Now, one thing I will say is, now Chanel lip was busted, but if you pay attention to Yummy when she was outside wilding with no shoes on, her ear was kind of fucked up and bloody. You feel me? So Yummy had a you know, a war mark as well. But yeah, Yummy was wilding. She basically was like, these hoes can't fuck with me. You bitches can't see I'm the smallest one in the house. This, that, and the third. And yes, do I believe? Yes, bitch, you get hard. I don't give a fuck. Yummy, bitch, you get hard. You feel me? You stayed to the end. You did what the fuck you had to do. When you realized you wasn't going to be in the top 4, you ragged tag ass. You ragged, tagged ass. And I can't be mad at, I mean, no, she should not have snuck Miss Natural. That was a bitch ass move. But I ain't really mad at her thought process about it. If anything, that makes Yummy a very mind-controlled person for her to have this plan in her mind and execute it the way that she did. But Ballistic called it, and Yummy was outside whining like a goddamn maniac, and her ear was bleeding, so she got a little fucked up too. Now, after a while, you know, it was like, all right, Yummy, get in the goddamn van and leave. Yummy expressed that she had been sex trafficked. She said that she, you know, comes from a racist family. She said that she's, you know, had gone through a lot and she ain't the one to play with. And, you know, I think it's crazy that, you know, you didn't really know too much about Yummy's personal life throughout the show. Like, Aqua was talking about her abortion, and, you know, Natural was talking about her and her son, and Boss Tech was talking about her drinking issue, and then you kind of got into, you know, Chanel Soul's drinking issue. But Yummy never really got super personal. Yummy or Big Legs, to be honest. But they never really got personal until the end. And again, I think that was calculated as well. You know, she said, I'm not gonna let these bitches see me sweat. But once she knew it was over, then she let it all out. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, damn, that's crazy, Yummy. You know, you been through a lot. You feel me? But that don't mean that you can go around sneaking people. But yes, Yummy been through a lot. I thought it was funny as shit that right before Yummy, you know, sat down and went into the van, she stood on somebody's car, and somebody was like, hey, get off my car. She's like, fuck this car. It's like, bitch, get off the car. Get in the car and go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if the producers was like, yo, hype this up, because, I mean, she was wilding for a long time. I mean, she was wilding pretty much from soon as she exited the building to her getting on the van. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, girl, did the producers tell you to do that? When Yummy lit her nipples on fire, I think that's what really did it for me, as far as me knowing that Yummy was in the middle of her room at 3 o'clock in the morning, sitting Indian style, rocking back and forth, singing Louisiana hymns, invoking the spirits to execute her plan the way she wanted to, dance into the end and then whip ass. I said, I know this bitch don't got sticks sticking out her nipples, and she done let these bitches on fire. Now, anybody who do know shit like that, I feel like you already ain't right in the head. Any bitch that's setting their pussy on fire, any bitch that's you know, putting bottles in their puss, setting their nipples on fire, bitch, you ain't never got to worry about fighting me, okay? Because you are willing to go to certain places. I'm not putting no glass bottles in my pussy. I'm not squirting no shit on my puss and making fire squirt out. You know, strippers do that. Any hoe that do no crazy shit like that, bitch, you can have it. I ain't finna fuss and fight with no bitch who will set they motherfucking nipples on fire. And then she had the nerve to be like, I was like, yeah. She was in her room rocking back and forth, plotting on Miss Natural the whole motherfucking time. I said, whew. So then they called Chanel and Boss Tech out. And basically Joseline was going in on Boss Tech, and she was basically like, you know, you came in here thinking you was all that, and basically since you think that you all that, you don't need to be in the show. You not finna make my show hot. Since you got $10,000, since you got this, since you got that, go, you feel me, do what you want to do on World Star. I kind of understood Joseline's point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, act like you want to be here. You know, like Lexi Blow, for instance. Lexi Blow looks like she gets a bag. She has a business. But Lexi Blow still came in there knowing that it was a mission, and she played her part. And I think that don't mean Lexi Blow is broken, no shit. But it's like, I understand kind of what she meant, but I also understand Boss Tech. Like, what the fuck you think Boss Tech supposed to come in here like, yeah, I had an abortion. I aborted quadruplets 2 weeks ago, and I'm depressed, and I have no money, and I'm poor, and like, well, you know, I mean, so it's just like, I get both sides, but I definitely understood, honestly, you know, when Joseline was like, you know, bitch, you think you all that young, you ain't finna make my cabaret hot, so you can go make it, you know, go continue to be hot over there where you be. So, but honestly, Boss Tech took it really well. Boss Tech took the criticism Joseline gave her really well, and she stepped off to the side and she thanked Joseline for the opportunity and kept it moving. And then the big belly, crusty lip girl, aka Chanel, got chosen to be in the cabaret. Next up, Sapphire and Lucky. Sapphire and Lucky come up, and Sapphire looked very emotional, you know what I'm saying, while Joseline was talking. You could tell this was a difficult decision for Joseline. Even Ballistic was kind of looking back and forth with everybody, and ultimately Joseline chose Lucky. Sapphire got emotional. Joseline got a little teary-eyed, but ultimately Sapphire took it very well. Yummy so far the only one that was ragging ass, but yeah, so Sapphire took it very well. She got emotional, and she had a nice exit, and I thought that was really cool how she supported Lucky and didn't come off as a hater. I thought that was super, super dope. So then the show starts, and Joseline looks bomb. I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, her outfit look, I love the hat, the jacket. You can definitely tell that Joseline appreciates the 80s kind of burlesque, old school, you know, material girl, kind of, you know, late 80s, early 90s showgirl type vibe. She gives very much that. She doesn't give, like, you know, the young hoes with the real big platforms. You know, she just gives very much old school, sexy, really, honestly, elegant. You know, she may not be the most elegant in some areas, but her mind for her sensuality and the way she performs, it definitely, I mean, you can tell she definitely appreciates that 80s kind of, you know, burlesque kind of, even later than 80s, maybe 70s, but you get what the fuck I'm saying. So the show starts. Joseline comes out. She looks fucking bomb, like I said. The other girls' outfits look cheap. Okay, hold on, let me get my shit together. Yeah, the other girls' outfits look cheap. The other girls' outfits look cheap. Yeah, you know, I think the girls made it look good, but I was like, compared to Joseline's outfit, the other girls' outfit looked cheap. When it was time for the girls to finally come out after Joseline performed, they missed their cue. The girls said it wasn't their fault. That big man in the fur coat told them that they couldn't go, and that's why they missed their cue. But Joseline looked pretty pissed about that. Once they finally did the show, the girls, you know, obviously it was edited, so we didn't see it straight through, but the show looked good from what they showed us. And once the show was actually done and all the girls were standing in line, and it was Chanel and Natural and Lexi and Lucky, and the girls were all standing there, I could really see why Joseline and how the production picked those girls, to be honest. And if you noticed, you know, none of them had super, super big booties. None of them had really big, over-exaggerated body parts. You know, not to say anything's wrong with that, but, you know, the Boss Tech, the, you know, Sapphire, Big Lex has a cute shape, but you understand what I'm saying. The girls with the really big, voluptuous bodies, you know, seem to have not made it, and you can kind of see how they picked the girls the way that they picked them. I thought Lucky looked especially pretty while they were performing. After everything was done and all the performances, the girls get together, and they finally it's time to give away the money. So I knew who was going to win about a week or so ago because Aqua spilled the beans on that Formation production interview that they did. So I knew who won, but when the show premiered, you know, Joseline, it was time for her to give away the money, and ultimately she picked Chanel. Lucky said that she was kind of pissed. She felt like she should have won the money, and I could see how she could feel like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bitch, like, I've been here since season 1. Like, I've been working, I've been hustling. Like, I actually got picked. I was the bottom bitch. Like, I actually got captain. You know, and like even Lexi said, you know, look, I felt like I deserved it because, you know, fuck, bitch, I, you know, actually was up all day. I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking. I actually took this serious. Natural seemed like she didn't really care either way. And Chanel won. Now Joseline clowned the poor girl the whole way through. I said, God damn, Joseline. Joseline clowned Chanel the whole way through. She called Chanel a mouse. She called Chanel a follower. She called Chanel a big belly. She called Chanel a drunk. I was like, oh my goodness. But you know, Joseline's always going to make a show. And ultimately, Joseline said that she picked Chanel because Chanel was the ultimate underdog. And the underdog always wins. I think that Joseline has a special place in her heart for the underdog because essentially she kind of was that in a sense when she was coming up on Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta. You know, one thing I will say about Joseline is that I respect the fact that she is so confident in that which she believes is her talent. And I really think that that's really what, you know, elevated her. You know what I mean? Her music has gotten better, but it ain't the best. But she's been pursuing music for the past 10 years. And for her to stand so strong in the things that she believes, she's doing the damn thing. And you might talk about her music, you might talk about how her show, you know, ain't shit. You might talk about how she's a bitch, which I believe she probably is. You might say whatever the fuck you want to say about her, but she's doing her music, she has her show, her ideas coming, you know, to fruition. And she exposed at the end of the episode that she has already been greenlit for season 3 of Joseline's Cabaret, and they're going to be in Vegas. So again, I just think Joseline, you know, she ain't perfect. None of us are, but she's far from perfect. But that's one thing I will say I admire about her. She's doing the damn thing, and whether you say she's good at music or whether you say she not, she doing the damn thing, and I respect that. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Subscribe, like, and I will see you guys next time when I'm reviewing the fucking reunion. Deuces.